the stream up on my phone.
Awesome. And yep, we're just going on live now. And right now the numbers don't reflect that quite yet, though. But what's up, chat? Your high functioning shooter is back. And I think we kind of resolved like the delay issue, though. But we also have Charlie in here to chat. Say hi, Charlie.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday indeed. Happy Labor Day weekend, guys. Happy Labor Day weekend, guys. Might want to turn that down.
Yeah.
But
My apologies.
Yep, I wasn't able to jump on yesterday because I kind of got sideswiped with a surprise duty the other day. By surprise, it means I can't read a fucking watch bill.
Oh,
Didn't realize I
buddy.
had duty. I didn't realize I had duty. Like I said, I'm high functioning. Doesn't mean it's always as effective.
You sound like everybody that, like, anytime I tried to get relieved on a Saturday watch, like, the mid-watch would be like, "Oh, I didn't realize I had duty." And I'm like, not double check
Actually,
that before you leave on a Friday? I
actually,
mean,
I got relieved 2 hours late last week on a Saturday. So yeah.
that sounds about right.
But yeah, it's just like 30 minutes late versus 2 hours. Everybody loses their fucking minds when I relieve late though, but 2 hours, oh no one cares. And it's on me, and I'm the one that's getting, royally fucked or proper fucked. No one bats an eye. But anyways, though, while there's this video I actually just want to break down and react to was actually brought up to me yesterday while I was sitting on surprise duty, and they were telling me yeah, they actually filmed the captain's mess. I'm like, no way they did. It's like, yeah, this happened back in 2005. It was like a year before I enlisted, and I gotta say, I've sat in at so many captain's mess. I personally wasn't being sent to captain's mast, though. I have to sit at captain's mast, being or taking notes and all that stuff for stuff that happens, and then making sure that the process is submitted correctly and all that stuff. And boy, I have never seen anything like this before. And the fact that I thought this was like a halfway night bit, but this was real.
Yeah, no, I've only been to one other open mast, and of course, I was just there for like 1 or 2 days at my new command, and one of the people who got masted had the same last name as me, and everyone thought we were related. So, of course, immediately I had to show that I had no relation to this person. I had no idea who this person was. Like, please leave me alone. I'm I'm not a bad child. I don't know her.
Was she Latina? I mean,
No.
that's probably like the only way you would be able to distinguish each other, though, is because one don't look like the other, obviously type thing. But
Yeah, no, it was just happened to have the same. She was from the English line of beards and I was from the French line, so not related at all to this person. Just happened to have the last name.
all right, well, without further ado, let me switch over to, and then let's actually watch this. Oh my god.
Maybe I can tell the story of that mast after this, but let's watch this video first.
Yeah, so obviously, they're in coveralls, they're underway right now. So with the difference between a regular captain's mast and an open mast is that in a regular captain's mast, though, it's especially on a submarine, it's usually held in the wardroom, where there's, from the looks of it, a lot more table space, and it's enclosed, and nobody can, other than the people that are involved in the captain's mast, is in there and they can't see what's going on. Whereas it's open mask, it is an open lobby type thing, like, but it's mandatory. It's like a mandatory event that everybody has to witness. Like,
Yeah, like this person's
but
being made an example to the
uh,
crew.
I I think that was the intent though, but I felt as though it completely backfired, and now this dude is a freaking legend. But you'll guys understand, like you'll see, like when you see what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and hit play. And right now, the chief of the boat is acting master at arms, so he is getting the suspect now.
Oh, hell no.
And salute.
Is his zipper messed up or is he just doing that on purpose? He doesn't even have an undershirt, bro.
Nope. And when I was watching this though, like I was curious as to like if he actually stuffed his underpants to make it look like he has a bulge. Because the cap is gonna be at the or at the eye level of his crotch, so he has to stare at that the entire mast. And then, like when I was watching it the first time, I was actually hoping that he cut holes in the back of his pants though, so that way it looks like he has assless chaps, and essentially
That'd be
mooning the entire
hilarious.
crew behind him.
But his neckerchief is tied like a noose.
I just barely caught that. Hold on one sec.
Oh my god.
Oh god. I barely noticed that just now. Holy shit. It does look like it's tied in a noose. That is so fucked. You might want to step back because I'm getting like feedback there, Charlie.
Oh, my apologies.
Oh my god. I mean, his hand movement and all that stuff, though, it's pretty on point. Like in the
No, it's
movies,
like
you know?
super correct. Like just to be like extra.
2.
Like
Uncover.
He's removing his Dixie cup with his left hand.
ooh. No bueno.
2.
Seaman, recruit, drivers, report team. Pass order, sir.
He sounds like 8 Robot.
He's doing all the movements like so fluid and correct. It's
Oh, just give it a minute though. Like it's gonna get a lot worse. Trust me. That's why I'm saying I've sat through so many Cabs Mass though, but this one, oh my god, this is like really bad. And by bad,
steak, huh?
and by bad, it's really fucking hilarious. And me and K Dot though, like we were talking about it today though, it's just like neither of us would be able to sit at this mass because they would have to dismiss us as like the ones that are logging it because we could not hold our laughs. Oh god.
Captain grabs the fucking clipboard. Get the fuck out.
No, at that point,
I'll take
Simi.
him. You stand with him.
Center Group Library Chief, suspected of committing following violations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Charge of violation of Article 108 in that you did on or about 11 July without proper authority willfully destroy by breaking apart and losing military property in the United States, specifically.
That's bullshit. I didn't do that.
He interrupted the captain saying that was bullshit. Oh, and by the way, though, so we'll get into it later, though, but this captain's mask, though, actually got dismissed. Or it got appealed, actually.
Yeah, so destroying the government property, we
You want to
actually
take
looked in,
you want to take a guess
yeah,
on what it was?
TLD.
Oh, damn. Yep, that is true. He destroyed a
Yeah.
TLD. But I guess from
So do
like
you want me to explain what that is?
yeah, you're the expert when it comes to dissymmetries though, because you're the one are the ones that are working back there the most.
Yeah. So I was a nuclear mechanic in the Navy, and one of the requirements when you're working in the nuclear engine room is you have to wear what is called a TLD or a um oh, what is it?
Uh
Thermo
luminescent
luminescent
device.
device.
But I
Yeah,
can't remember what
thermo
the T is. Thermal luminescent device?
yeah. So essentially how it works, like in layman's terms, is the radiation or like the energy given off by the radiation would go within like a little screen, and that screen, that light that goes through activates certain cells in the device, and based on how activated that device is determines what your dose is, and it's required to wear when you're in a radioactive space. And on a submarine, that's pretty much everywhere.
So
So
yeah,
pretty much everyone on a submarine has a TLD. However, on surface boats like I was on, it was just nukes or anybody that worked in had spaces within the engine room. So typically like ICs or some some engineering people had it because they would have to come down and do the AC units, or they had one or two people from V4, which is like the air department, had them because they had pumps down there. They'd have to come and check. But 99% of the people on a surface boat, it was just nukes. So, but we had to do qualifications for any of the non nuclear people to earn their TLD to be able to be in the engine room. So, destroying this, not only was he violating safety protocol for nuclear work, he was destroying government property because you don't pay for it. It's given to you, it's issued to you. So, this is a pretty big deal.
yep.
And they're
And
not cheap.
yeah, and what happened? Like, I'm pretty sure you guys, it's like, one of those things because if there is like an incident involving a TLD, because it's one of those things like before you go on leave or you leave the boat like for an extended period of time and away from the area, you have to turn in your dosimetry device, like to
Mhm.
prevent like false readings and stuff, because when you're traveling with that, it kind of or gives you false readings and stuff, and
I can
that
give you background radiation readings.
that
Because
you
there
weren't.
is natural radiation in nature. Radon is a naturally occurring substance typically found in like dirt or dust,
Yep.
that could affect it.
Or if you're like
Sunlight.
or if you're like a particular dumbass in my past that decided to travel with the TLD and left it in his uniform on his uniform and send it through the X-ray machine, that was fun.
Dax.
No, I didn't do it, but I'm just saying like
Yeah, no,
there's.
our reactor officer was the final signature on our leave chits, and your leave chit was not signed until he had proof that you turned in your TLD. So if you hadn't turned in your TLD, your leave chit was not signed. So most of us got our leave chit signed day of taking leave.
Oh, ours is like a little different though, because in order like for you to go on leave though, like you cannot check out until the ELT or myself or
Yep.
one of my minions doc or one of the docs, because there's junior docs now, and the
Mhm.
duty officer. One of those people can take custody of your TLD and then sign you on leave.
Yeah,
But
so the only people allowed to take custody on surface was an ELT. Those are the only people authorized to take your TLD from you.
damn, that's freaking crazy. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
like
DOS was very busy on leave days, like holiday leave. It was like their whole entire day was just sitting in DOS and taking people's TLDs.
yeah, that I mean, when it came to like when we came back or like post deployment and stuff like that, where everybody's trying or the half of the crew is like trying to check out on leave. Your boy is stuck on the cruise mess collecting all of that stuff, sitting with the ELTs and doc and all that stuff. That was loads of fun.
Sub yeomans have it rough, dude. You have like 8 different people's jobs.
Yeah.
Versus surface yeomen are like, dude, I'm gone by 10 a.m. because we close down for lunch and I just never come back.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. But,
Yeah.
well, let's continue this shit show.
I didn't do that shit right there. I'm not finna make none of that sign shit like that.
Well, let me just chime in really quick, though. Do you, like, that's like, when it comes to etiquette and Cap's Mask, though, it's like you don't backtalk the captain while he's, like, reading the charges and stuff, though. And for that to happen, that is just freaking insane, though. And calling it bullshit, though, and then calling the captain by his first name, though, is just freaking hilarious. While his
honestly-
uniform is all jacked to shit.
Honestly, like, because I've even been to masts where, like, these dudes are, like, known bullies or, like, dudes who are, like, super intense to, like, people on the boat or, like, in our department. The second they're in front of the mat, they're like, yes, sir. Like, crying, pissing themselves. And it's like,
Nah,
This
this dude checked
this dude
out.
legitimately scares me. Yeah, no, he didn't give a fuck. It's just impressive.
Yeah, and a few of my guys, especially because this dude was a missile tech, and a guy that's completely checked out that does not give a fuck is one of the scariest people to have on board because they're very
Yeah.
unpredictable.
We had 1 or 2 instances in reactor. Like, we have some conventionals that work with us, like non-nuclear trained people in MDiv, and sometimes we'd get a really good group of them, and sometimes we'd get like the ones that they joined the Navy to stay out of jail, and unfortunately they wanted to keep on their shenanigans while in, and we had to set them straight, like, can't do that, and they would not last very long, is all I'm gonna say. We had a lot of people getting kicked out due to failure to adapt, is what they called it.
Yeah. We've have or I process so many of those to a point where it's just like I just don't care. But let's go. Let's continue this.
Seaman Fred Lavers, hold your tongue.
That's bullshit.
Hold your tongue while the captain's talking.
You're not entitled to a lawyer while you're on a naval vessel.
That's bullshit about it.
That's not bullshit. That's part of the Uniform Code of Military.
Seaman Recruit Lavers. I'll tell you when you're
Shout out to the Cobb though. He had like if it was like any of the Cobbs as that I've served with though, like their patience would have been very thin. Especially like the first Cobb on my last command, big boy from Alabama. Like one of the few
Also-
dudes that I am completely terrified of.
Seaman Recruit, which means he's probably, has he gone mass twice then? Because usually
This
by the
is a-
time subs
this-
get to the boat, you're a seaman.
This is like let me actually shed light on that. This is his third captain's mast this week. In 1 week. From what DJ was saying though is that he went to the first 2 masts were like minor infractions, like, and then the third mast though they pretty much combined everything, and then you'll see, like if there's like any like hard hitting or high functioning yeoman in the chat, that can catch that. Yeah, you'll see why this mast got appealed, and it pretty much got dismissed.
You understand?
Understand? Aye, aye, sir.
I find your attitude disrespectful.
I find it disrespectful too.
Oh! I find you
What did he
disrespectful.
say?
Is like
I find you disrespectful?
I find you disrespectful too, sir.
That's
Damn. Holy shit, dude. That is so fucking. Oh my god. This dude has balls. I mean,
like while I was in, I would have been telling that like people like, dude, this dude is such a piece of garbage. Blah 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 blah. Now that I'm out,
now that you're
tell
out.
him. Tell him, son. Tell him, son.
Okay.
Feet, white,
Beat. White.
you understand this?
Okay, so this guy right here, like this dude's like loving it. Like he is laughing his ass off. And like I said though, I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face either though, cause like, oh my god, this is so bad.
I would have been so far, like, if I know that I'm gonna be the person sitting there giggling at this whole entire thing, I would at least put myself in the back, bro. Like,
Yeah, you'd be back there with DJ.
yeah, like, at least you'd be able to see me. Short ass dwarf looking motherfucker.
Hey, leave the high functioning dwarf alone. He has all the pews.
He does. He could flatten my homeland in one go, but
Okay, let's
he
continue.
has to get permission for that.
I'm standing fully, sir.
Sir.
Charge of violation of Article 92. That you, having knowledge of a lawful order issued by Commander of Naval Sea Systems Command, which are lawful duty to obey, you did on the 11th of June. You failed to obey the order by negligently entering a radiation area and
I mean, I don't know why he like there. We have a script for a reason though, and you normally like the XO would read off the charges, or just the charges, not like the specifications and stuff though. But they're just going like into detail. I don't think that's actually absolutely necessary. I mean, yeah.
Well, in an open mast, they like to give context to know like why this person's in an open mast. So that's kind of like the difference between a closed mast and an open mast, because they have to give context to why the mast is happening. So like
Yeah.
a lot of these people are gonna be like, dude, why am I standing here? What did this dude even do?
Yeah, but I
And
feel
that's kind of their way of doing it.
honestly though, just reading the articles and all that stuff though, and then like going further into it though, is just like you're being charged with these charges, and then if anything they do kind of elaborate though, but yeah. And then how it's supposed to go is you're brought in, and then you basically do your report, and then the captain goes off on the script though, where like he would read off all the or you've been been summoned to captain's mast for violations of the following charges. Reads the charge or multiple charges, and then is just asks any questions, and then is just like, and then presents all the evidence and documentation that is brought before them, and he asks the question if he had enough time to review them, or if he wants to review the evidence or that is brought against him, type thing. Which if you look at the table though, and look at that binder, I think that's his I think that's his freaking or his preliminary inquiry.
without wearing your thumb.
What's up?
It might be just like the requirements for like, they also have to have like the evidence of like, why is this a violation? Like, so why is it bad that I went into the engine room without TLD? Well, according to this super thick ass nuke manual that is 500 pages to tell you the same thing 4 times over and over and over again.
hold on.
This is why it's bad.
It's not just, well, this is a BN, the ballistics submarine. It's a lot worse because this dude apparently was running amok in the missile compartment.
And that's yeah, and that's
Okay.
I understand that charge, sir.
the second charge, actually a third charge of violation of Article 92, is that you then also re-entered the engine room on 2 occasions, willfully disobeying the order, knowing full well you did not have a proper PLD.
I understand that charge, sir.
Another charge of violation of Article 92 in that you did on board USS Wyoming on or about 11 June, violate a lawful general regulation, violation of Article 3101, Navy uniform regulations, by wrongfully destroying, TEUing, or throwing away your coveralls.
I understand that charge, sir.
Violation of Article 91.
Case in point, his uniform is fucked as shit.
So he threw away his coveralls too?
Yeah, like he destroyed everything. Look at his dress whites. It's like cut down the middle to a point where he's wearing it like a cape.
So at that point, I would be getting psych involved because obviously he's having a mental break due to like stress or something. Like, you guys are putting him through the ringer. And I get it. Like, you guys have decided he's an issue, but you also have to remember he's a person and he has feelings. Like, I get it. Like, it's a violation of the UCMJ and he needs to be brought forth on it, but at the same time, like, you didn't have to bring him for all of these charges. Like, stick to the 1 or 2 major ones, but they wanted to nitpick him for every little thing they could.
You're going to see though, because like, and I'm gonna actually talk about it later, but they actually add more charges to this mast, and I will explain why it's a huge no-no. Let's just try to get to that as soon or sharpishly.
And that you did, having received the lawful order from Master Chief Weaver, non-commissioned officer superior to you in rank, which you knew to be non-commissioned officer superior to you in rank. The order was to report to your place of duty and carry out your duties. An order which it was your duty to obey, and that you did on the 11th of June willfully disobey that order. You understand that, charge?
I understand that charge, sir.
Additional charges you have not been charged for, but continue to rack up the input on consumer life or service. You did have another violation of Article 92, and then on or about the 12th of June, you violated a lawful general regulation by destroying the uniform you're standing before me in right now.
I definitely understand that charge, sir.
I definitely understand that charge, sir.
Another violation is one of Article 134 on board USS Wyoming on or about 12 June. Disorderly conduct, that you were running around the missile compartment, parts of your shredded uniform, improperly dressed, tied around your head.
He easily could have had somebody else give them their whites for him to wear. They chose to embarrass him.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just like
he did this on purpose.
I'm pretty sure this was intentional. Because you have to understand, though, is like a guy that's completely checked. Like, it's one of those. Someone actually brought up a very good point when we were talking about this yesterday, and I think it was today too. It was one of those things like they don't want to be there anymore, and they're saying, "Well, tough shit. Like, we're out here, and we're not going to be pulling in until like we're scheduled to do so." So
we can't medevac you just because you don't want to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, so what do you do at that point? And
you make him miserable beyond reproach, apparently.
Yeah, and if he's miserable, it's gonna get to the point where he just does not give a, or he just doesn't care anymore, and then you just pretty much have crash outs like this happening.
Now, like, there was like some people that when we sent them to their fourth or fifth mast, I was like, can we just stop masting them and let them get, that's all they want to do. They want to go home, and you keep adding shit on top of it and resetting their discharge paperwork. Because they have to add every single little thing that happened. If you send them to mast again, they have to completely restart their discharge paperwork, and you're making them stay here longer. You want them gone, they want to be gone, just leave them alone, let them, like, obviously this is underway and on a submarine, so it's a lot different. But like mid-deployment, we had a guy, he just essentially sat in berthing and watched TV all day because they just got to the point they're like, we're just going to let him be and leave him alone. Because
Oh no, like
essentially got to the point where admin was like, you're dragging this out longer than it needs to be because you keep sending him back to mast.
oh no, it's completely different. Well, you've actually firsthand experienced, like, you know, the guys in T-Div when we were in San Diego together.
Oh my god. Some of those guys were just in a bad situation, and then some of them were just straight up. How do I put this nicely? Trash. I'm gonna keep watching this with you while you do that, but I need to go use the bathroom, so I'm gonna be stepping away from my computer.
Okay. Just let me know when you're back.
What happened? What happened?
Violation of Article 91.
Okay, I'm still here.
That you did on or about the 11th or 12th of June on board USS Wyoming, acting in a contemptuous and disrespectful way towards Senior Chief Pitcola. Non-commissioned officer superior to you in rank, known by you in that in the execution of his duties, you stated to him something along the lines of, "Old man, I will beat you up. You don't want this big old black monster coming after you."
A big old oh my god, oh, no way he said that. Oh god, that is so cringe.
Words to that effect.
I understand that charge fully, sir.
Okay? Additionally, charging you with a violation of Article 86, failure to go to your appointed place, or actually to a violation that you left your appointed place of duty, and that you were assigned to work in the galley area in the scullery, and you left your appointed place of duty without order. You understand that, Charlie?
I understand that charge fully, sir.
Charge you with violation of Article 89 in that on or about the 11th or 12th of June. Because you behaved with disrespect towards me. And you called me by my first name to others, as if you had a right to do that. You basically mocked my authority on board. Understand that, Charlie?
I understand that charge, sir.
Okay? Continue to act with disrespect for me. You stand here in front of me just with the way you're acknowledging these charges. You understand that?
I understand that charge fully, sir.
So wait, did he add the charge of being disrespectful towards me as you're standing here?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. So let me add a little bit of context to this, right? Like when there is a a preliminary inquiry going on, right? You assign E7 or above to actually investigate the incident or the charges that are brought against the sailor or something like that, or like an incident, and whatever. And then obviously they have the MCM, or the manual for court martial, that lists all the specifications of every violation that any armed forces member can actually break. And so that's all in the report shit. And in order to bring up new charges, though, you have to launch a new investigation. You can't just tack on investigation, a violation or another charge on there, right? And then it would be very easy to argue, because you have it on tape for the captain's mast, and you could probably bring him to a fourth captain's mast to charge that if they wanted to. But yeah, that didn't happen, and because of that, though, I think it was I don't recall who actually appealed it, though, but obviously it was appealed, though, and then the charges were pretty much dropped at that point. And so far, I don't think anybody knows what happened to this Livers kid. But anyways, let's go.
You don't have to make any statement regarding the offenses of which you're accused or suspected, and any statement made by you may be used as evidence against you. You're advised that a captain's mast is not a trial, and that a termination of misconduct on your part is not a conviction by a court. Further, you are advised that formal rules of evidence used in trials by court-martial do not apply in captain's mast. I have a statement signed by you acknowledging that you are fully advised of your legal rights pertaining at this hearing. Do you understand this statement? Do you understand the rights explained therein?
I understand the statement. I understand the rights therein. I understand, sir.
Do you have any questions about them, or do you wish to make any requests regarding your rights?
I have no question. I wish not make any question about my rights, sir.
You're welcome. Okay. I have statements that are written, provided by several people. This time I'm going to ask you some questions. Mostly have to do with the charges.
I mean, I have seen in Cavs masses where, like, you know, they kind of open it up to him, but normally that's like a little bit normally like to state their case, or if they have any evidence that they would like to bring to the mass that proves their innocence type thing. And we do or there was a story that was once told to me about like one of the Navy-Ts that he was going to mass for I think it was like underage drinking or something like that, and he brought with him a digital camera. And then he's like, and then like, when it came to like, or if you have anything to add to this captain's mast, and then he respectfully requests to move his arms and present evidence that he wishes to bring in the captain's mast. The dude had photos of like the entire wardroom, the entire chief's locker. Oh wait, it was at the bar. It was a failure to obey a lawful order, because they were told to not. Nobody was authorized to consume alcohol at the port call, and they were trying to throw him under the bus, but it's like, nope, I wasn't the only one that was consuming alcohol. There's a few chiefs here, and then it's like, oh, look at that. They're hanging out with a few ladies of the night too, a couple officers. And the captain was like fuming, and he's like, "You're dismissed." And then next thing you know, the 1MC is like, "All chiefs and officers report to the wardroom time now."
Oh, get wrecked, son.
But yeah,
Ooh,
that's normally how it's
damn.
supposed to happen, though. But yeah, let's continue.
First question, what happened to your DLD?
Up.
Either it fell off, probably most likely, that's the most logical choice. But it's a possibility it could went inside the Ruby suits, or somebody could even stole it. So I don't know. One of those three is what happened.
Let me rephrase your question. You entered the engine room with part of a TLD hanging on your belt. True or false?
True.
What happened to the other part of your TLD?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So, I do not know where it's at.
He's moving a lot. You're supposed to be like at attention most of the time.
At what point did you become aware that your TLD is no longer fully intact?
When Doc mentioned my plan to have my utility. I don't have to back up my utility, so.
Of course, you don't have a backup TLD. Nobody has a backup TLD.
Why do you have a screwdriver in your rack?
I had a big red X on my rack at one time with a tape,
Well,
electrical
so
tape. So
if you notice that your TLD is not intact, you're supposed to immediately report that and give it to dosimetry for them to do, so they can do extra testing and issue you a new TLD. So what they'll do is that they'll be like, okay, so we don't know your actual accurate dosage, so you're gonna have to go and get further testing done. That would have been the appropriate action. But because he's had minor offenses before, they probably just immediately decided he did it on purpose. They made assumptions is probably what happened. Because the way it sounds is like he didn't even notice his TLD was messed up. Or did he say that he broke it on purpose? Did I miss that?
No, I think it was. I think DJ may have said though that like he intentionally broke his TLD on purpose. Just like how he did with his
Okay.
uniforms, just like how he did with his whites, as you can see. And it was likely intentional. But like right now, they're trying to get into like, why do you have a screwdriver in your rack, taped into your rack?
out of self-defense, just in case somebody
Okay.
wanted to.
Because if you puncture the lens on the TLD,
out of self-defense.
it allows all the light in, and it makes an inaccurate reading. Because it's instead of it just being neutron created light, it's any ambient light, any flashlights, lights from anything on board be getting into the dosimetry device and giving it inaccurate reading.
Right. But yeah, he was. I mean, it's one of those things like, why do you have a screwdriver in the rack? Because it's likely he purposely sabotaged it. So like,
Yeah, purposely punctured it.
yeah.
Okay,
Why'd you have a screwdriver in your rack?
understood.
I had a big.
One moment, I have to yell at my child. Get down! She's trying to eat the bird again. Sorry.
Okay.
Continue.
With a
I'll-
tape,
yeah, I'll
electrical
cover it.
tape, so out of self-defense, just in case somebody wanted to. From what I gathered, information I gathered, that somebody was having a blanket party on me, so they want to have a blanket party on us to go self-defense. So.
Gathered that. Scared, tell me how you gathered that. That's news to me.
Somebody that was right by my rack said that I'm probably get a blanket party, so I heard that news right there. I was getting some self-defense, because I know I can defend myself with about two big guys in my rack. Yeah.
So, back to the charge of destroying your TLD. You're claiming you did not destroy your TLD.
I'm claiming I did not show my team.
And you're claiming you didn't know your TLD was destroyed until the doc pointed it out to you.
I really wasn't paying no attention to the doctor when I tell him what my team was doing.
Okay.
Steel Thorn, get your ass off that cage now! My apologies. I have a kitten, and she's being very rambunctious.
Rambunctious as the seaman recruit over here. I had to.
No, not that bad. The only thing similar to them is their skin color.
Doc here. Doc. Your statement, you say that about 0700 you were informed by Lieutenant Murray that Secret Group Livers had entered into without his TLD. About 0800 you went to collect the TLD, issued to Secret Group Livers for required investigations and estimates, and that Secret Group Livers was wearing the back portion of the TLD case on his belt, missing the front portion of the case, and the lithium fluoride TLD card. When asked where the rest of the TLD was, Secret Group Livers replied, "In my rack." Is that your statement?
Ooh.
Yes, sir. So, Secret Group Livers, how did you told the doc, kind of pointed out to you that your TLD wasn't all together? How could that have been the first time you knew, if you knew the rest of your TLD was in your rack?
I thought it maybe because back in the past it did fall apart, so I thought maybe just
Back in the past, and at the point your TLD fell apart in the past, knowing full well how important TLDs are, it never occurred to you to like point that out to anybody, to go back to people that issued you the TLD, say the doc, that the TLD fell apart?
never occurred to me.
Never occurred to you at all.
Yeah, bounce that
Never
shit
occurred.
goes- bounce that
Okay.
shit.
So, once again,
Probably didn't
I
want to get
got
in
you
trouble.
lying to me
Oh god.
because
Probably
you're
just
sitting here
didn't
telling
want to get in
me,
trouble. Also, if he did intentionally tamper it. But the way he's making it sound is he's like, I've had issues with it, and I just kind of went with it. We understand the full operation of a TLD as nuclear trained individuals. They're explained it, kind of, when they go through the training to get issued it. Like, I don't know how thorough your training is on a submarine. You would have a better idea of that. But we do like very basic, like this is kind of sort of how it works. If you notice that there's any puncturing in the screen part, come to us and we'll get you a new one. And make sure you're wearing it when you're in the space. That's pretty much all we did for topside, is what we called people that weren't nukes.
Yeah, I think like the major difference though is like the whole dosimetry program and all that stuff. Doc usually runs all of that, and then like yeah, the ELTs will like help out with that kind of stuff too. Like they actually do the readings and stuff though, but he usually is like, I guess like in a way he's like the middleman between like the hospitals because they actually like do like the final readings and stuff, and then I guess like they help out build the TLDs and all that stuff, or like they get a better understanding of like what's going on.
Yeah. So we send the TLDs off for readings because we don't have that equipment on board.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I don't
So-
think any vessel does not have that kind of equipment.
Yeah. Carriers don't
you
either.
had no idea your TLD was broken.
had to get
The doc
outside, you
pointed
had to
it
go
out,
to
yet at the
medical.
time the doc pointed
Yeah.
it out, you were able to tell him, oh, the rest of my TLD's in my rack.
That's what I thought it was, sir.
So, how do you explain the lie you just told me?
I'm just saying a lot. That's what happened, sir.
That's what happened. It's not what happened, that's a lie. It's physically impossible.
Where's my TLD at? I said don't go.
You're asking me where your TLD is? It's your responsibility to know
I'm
where your
asking you,
TLD is.
my TLD where it is. Where it is.
Okay,
Where's my
let's go back
TLDX?
to
I still
when
don't know. Oh my Lanta. Oh my Jesus. 'Cause it wasn't in his rack. Is that what he's saying? He thought it was in his rack. It wasn't.
Yeah, like his story is like all over the place and stuff. So right
Well,
now,
from
it's
what
just-
I'm gathering is he's like, hey, it's in my rack because that's where I think it is because it's fallen apart before.
right.
And he couldn't find it in his rack because they probably made him go back to his rack and open it up and show, hey, is this where it is? And it wasn't there. And he was probably like, I don't know where it is. Did they ever find it later, like in the bilge or something?
I'm sure they did.
That's probably
but-
why it got thrown out. That's probably why it got thrown out. Oh, we found his TLD.
What,
the
the
bilge.
case thrown out, or is just like they?
Oops. Yeah, no, I don't know. But that would be a valid reason.
It get-
Oh, well, we found it in the bilge. He must have just scraped it when he was doing cleaners or something. Oopsie.
Let's keep going.
You knew your TLD was no longer intact. When was that?
Oh my god, the captain's even talking like him now. Talking like a robot.
And Doc said,
No, it wasn't, because you told Doc
that's when I went my
the rest of it's in my rack. So you could only have known that if you know prior to you talking to Doc that your TLD wasn't
That's a
intact.
question. That's my knowledge.
All right. Well, the only conclusion I can draw
He
is
made
that
the
you're covering
assumption it
something
was in
up.
his rack. He didn't
because
say,
Your
for a
your
fact,
answer is
I know it's in my
nonsensical.
rack.
Right?
Don't report my stuff up. You still, I don't have it nowhere around here.
Next charge.
It's like, I think so.
Article 92. Failure to obey a lawful order due to negligence.
Don't got it nowhere
Okay.
around here.
I've got
must
numerous
have been
statements
Georgia.
that say that you entered the engine room without your TLD.
I'm correct.
So that's true.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
So
true.
you're negligent in that you entered the engine room without your TLD when you should have had your TLD.
That's correct, sir.
Now, at the time you entered the TLD engine room for the first time, while you're still in your sweats,
I didn't have no belt, no nothing.
I understand. Did you know, were you conscious of the fact you're entering the engine without a TLD?
I went to conscious of the fact.
Okay, so it was negligent, not deliberate.
The second time,
Okay.
I was deliberate.
And then, after you were told by several
Okay, so stop.
you gotta
Stop,
have
stop,
your
stop,
TLD.
Stop.
Okay, so he's being charged for failure to go back to his duty station with no dosimetry. They're trying to charge him for failure to go back to his duty station, which is in the engine room, without dosimetry. They knew he couldn't go back there with no dosimetry.
No, like the charge was is that he. I think, I mean, DJ could probably elaborate more on this though, but I think at the time though they have him as FSA.
No, because they had two separate charges of failure to report back to your duty station, and then they just said he was in his sweats because he destroyed his coveralls, which means he had no belt, which he had no way to secure his TLD, and if his TLD was destroyed, they had no way of giving him a new one. They couldn't force him to go back into his workstation.
No, like, so how, like, you cannot go into the engine room spaces on a submarine without your dosimetry device. Like, if you're in the forward compartment of the submarine, which is like the forward of like the reactor compartment and stuff, you're perfectly fine. And I'm assuming
I know how a sub's set up because that's what we trained on.
Yeah, and I'm assuming at the time though is that he failed to report because I would say that he's FSA at the time because they pretty much pulled him from the division because he can't be trusted with doing his job though, which that of being a missile tech. But I am not sure how the layout is on a BN though.
We
but-
had 'cause nukes don't normally crank on surface because we need people. So they don't send the nukes, but we send our conventionals. So that's how we contribute. We send the conventionals to cranking. But we had 2 or 3 nukes go cranking because they got pulled from the division because they got in trouble for blazing maintenance or whatever they got in trouble for. So while they were getting reassigned to a new rate or whatever they were doing, they got sent cranking. So we actually had a couple nukes cranking at one point. Actually, one of my buddies in MDiv, he got his clearance taken for a DUI. And until he got his clearance back, he had to be FSA. So he was an FSA for almost a year.
That sounds about right. Like, you do have like the reprobates though that they pull from like the divisions and stuff, and then shove them into the scullery until they figure out what they can do, or because that's essentially what happened to
Yeah,
like
we had people who cranked multiple times just because they were problems.
yeah.
And some of them, I think it was,
We
I
actually
can't say for a fact, I think it was profiling. because it definitely tends to be more of our African American conventionals.
I mean, it's extremely awkward.
But I can't say for sure because they did get disrespectful to an extent, but also I felt like it was poked and prodded. Like they poked and prodded at them until they blew up. Like if you poked and prodded me as much as they poked and prodded at them, I'd have blown up too.
I mean, it's very awkward to see a first class freaking on the cruise, like, you know, on the scullery and whatnot, washing dishes. I was like, hey, why are you washing dishes? I was like, I'm FSAing
You've
now.
had that happen?
Yeah, on the last boat. We had, like, yeah, they just cannot trust them, like, you know, being a part of, like, the division anymore, and they just threw them in the scullery. And there he is, smashing trash, washing dishes, and making sure the bug juice is filled.
TLD.
I went back and did it.
You went back
Bug juice.
and got your half a TLD.
Did you do shots out of little cups too?
No, I'm thinking
No.
I had it. I think so. No, I don't know where it was, sir.
Welcome. Part of the issue is not knowing where HTTP is. The other part of the issue is not knowing that you didn't have TLD, which is your duty and responsibility to do.
And I can my
My question to you specifically is, when you entered the engine room with your belt and part of the TLD on your belt, did you understand, did you know at that time that you didn't have a full TLD?
I was really concentrating on getting that special pump to the side station. And I looked at it, and somebody pointed like, where's your TLD? And I pulled it out and looked at it. And half of it.
So at that time you didn't have a...
No, I'm saying half was, I looked at it and saw that half was gone.
Next time you're in the engine room.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So you knew you didn't have a full TLD well before
And
you
proper
talked to the doctor.
protocol
No,
would
before
have
the
meant
talk.
that he should have left the engine room immediately, reported he did not have a full TLD. But again, as someone who's not a nuclear trained person, he probably didn't fully understand that and thought it was fine. It's like, well, I have the chip, so the chip is still there, so I'm fine.
Well, not necessarily true, because everybody that reports to the boat, though, they actually sit down with everybody that's involved with TLDs. That's Doc, that's the leading ELT, even the EDMC too. And he pretty much gives them like a quick rundown of like everything that you need to do in the event that there's something wrong with the TLD. So it's one. It may have been different back then though, but
Okay.
at the same
Yeah,
time,
I'm going based off like surface knowledge. So
Yeah.
I guess that's fair. Like subs, you have a lot more people involved with it. So
yeah. Like, yeah, I understand that this is like an old video format though, but oh my god, look at the spots on his Dixie cup. That is
well, if you went through all of that effort to destroy it, like, dude, I would have straight up like sting that shit.
oh my god, this is like he is just like no military bearing at all though. It's just like, yeah, he's completely clocked out. That's the super attention that they were talking about.
That's the what?
He's at super attention right now. Look at that form. That is impeccable. At attention. They called him an attention though. This is like his soul left the body type thing.
All right, as to the charge of
Continue, sir.
wrongfully destroying your Navy Blue coveralls by throwing them away or TDUing them or whatever it was you did lose in tracking. What did you say about that?
Well, they were so jacked up that I made no sense even having because y'all were talking to Jimmy, you from anyway, so I'll just tell you.
Okay? And as to
It was already
the known
jacked up.
requirement that you had to wear a poopy suit, how did you expect to comply with that requirement?
I didn't expect to come out.
Okay? So, and did he ever cross your mind as a seaman recruit, the only seaman recruit on board, the guy lowest in rank on board, maybe you ought to talk to somebody? It did not cross your mind. Okay, because certainly going to captain mast 2 days in a row, and now 3 days in a row. The reasonable man would not check with their boss before they
Days in a row.
Yep, 3 days in a row.
Oh my god, dude. Okay. Yeah, no. Like, I would have immediately, like, get it. He has a lot going on as captain, especially underway and everything. But shouldn't you pull them aside at some point and be like, dude, what's going on? Do you need to talk to Doc? Like, do you need to... There's obviously some, like, mental health issues at this point. Like, he's having a stress reaction, or...
Normally, it's the senior enlisted that is supposed to take care of that. Normally, that's the Cobb's job.
Okay, so why didn't Cobb intervene after, like, the second one and be like, dude, what is going on with you?
I'm assuming it's a different time back then. Like, it's one of those things, like, they didn't really, touch on, like, the whole mental health issues back then.
Yeah.
It
Versus
was
everybody in TDiv when I was going through, like, everyone that was there, like, I went there and said I was stressed out and now I'm getting kicked out. They didn't even try to help me. They just sent me to TDiv and said I was getting administratively separated.
Well, it's to that point now, though, where it's just like they just don't want to deal with it anymore, so they'll just administratively separate you. But now it's to the point where it's just like people are just taking their own lives in droves.
Yeah, I know you guys got an epidemic of that right now at your command.
Well, it's not the command, though, but it's just like in the region itself. Like,
Okay.
yeah. Because I get it. It's one of those things, like, it's still developing, though, but there's still, or like the area in itself is developing. There really isn't much to do. And it's about a 40-minute drive to, like, the city where there's plenty to do.
Yeah. You feel isolated. You feel like you have no one to talk to. Especially people that come from places like they join the military to get away from their families.
Yeah, now they're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, that would be hard.
But it's one of those things, like, it's really not that bad out here, at least.
Well, you have, like, me and, like, family to talk to. You're living in a different area than immediately on base. Like, these younger kids that don't have cars, don't have other ways to get around, it's gonna be a lot different. Like, when I was living on the ship, before my ex-husband moved out that way towards California, like, I just essentially, I went to the freaking Next just to walk around and get off the boat.
Yeah. But to me, though, it's just like, I try to sympathize for that, though, and it's just like, at the end of the day, a lot of these kids, they have enlistment bonuses where they can actually have, like, a good chunk of it to put a down payment on a car, and they can actually drive out into town and all that stuff. So at the end of the day, though, it's just like, it's choices.
Must be nice, dude. I had to go through fucking a year of school before they even gave me mine, and it was like $6,000.
How do you think I feel? I don't even get jack shit other than just, like, job security.
Choose your fate, bitch.
Yep. Anyways.
So, you admit you destroyed your neighbors.
That is correct.
Violation of Article 91. aid order from the chief of the boat to report to your place duty.
True. True.
Okay, as to charge of destroying your whites and true?
Obviously true.
I'm telling you, somebody did it. Did you do it?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Just to do it.
Just to do it?
I wanted to. That's
You
what
want-
teaching me, sir.
So it's pretty much when it comes to you in the Navy,
That's what I want.
whatever you want is more important. Okay? Now, the fact that this mission, this ship's on a mission right now, that we're alert, that we're. The fact that you're just being exceptionally disruptive to that whole process is absolutely meaningless to you. Is that true?
It's probably meaningless to me, but I apologize for all my shipmates around here. Everybody alert. All distractions.
I think I probably speak for all of them when I say that we'll accept your apology when it's sincere.
Aye, sir.
Dude, just imagine being like another sub fucking listening for this shit, and then you just listen to this mass and just sit there and just like, this is fucking hilarious. Because, like, if they're out on alert, like, they're supposed to be as quiet as much as possible. Them sitting here arguing with each other, someone could pick that up if they were close enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just imagine Russia being like,
Yeah, but do you really think they understand English or have any idea what the hell's going on?
and
But,
they've got
like-
crypto people. I'd assume.
Nah.
Okay? So you admit to destroying your first language.
That's correct, sir.
And in charge of disorderly conduct.
I really
running
deny
around
that
this department
shit.
with
Standing
shredded
there in a
uniform or pants tied around your neck or other spectacle of disruptive acts, like screaming or yelling as you ran around. How you do it?
I can scream and yell, but I never around with my seat bag on my back. I also had a cape and a tray tied around my neck.
Okay. So, what was the purpose of that?
Get my ass off this fucking boat.
Nothing else to do.
That's correct, sir.
Like a hoe.
Okay, so nothing else to do. You just decided to be disruptive and disorderly.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. As to the charge of contemptuous, disrespectful behavior to Senior Chief Nicola, in that you consider you beat him up or hit him or something along those lines.
I was disrespectful towards his bald head, but I did not tell him.
You did what?
I was disrespectful towards his bald head, but I did not tell
Towards
him.
his bald head.
Wait, what did he say? I missed that.
I call
More time.
disrespectful. I call disrespectful his bald head.
In that you consider you beat him up or hit him or something along those lines.
I was disrespectful towards his bald head, but I did not tell him.
You did what?
I was disrespectful towards his bald head, but I did not tell
Towards
him.
his bald head.
That's correct, sir.
I was disrespectful to his bald head. Oh my god. Zero absolute fucks, dude.
Oh my Lanta.
So you were disrespectful, but you didn't actually threaten to beat him up.
That's correct, sir.
Captain, sir, that is incorrect. I was saying he did threaten to, quote, beat Senior Chief Nicola. Said, I will beat your old bald ass if you step one more inch towards me. Me and Senior Chief Nicola were just trying to get him up so that he could meet his money.
Very well. Senior Chief Nicola here. Senior Chief Nicola, can you tell me what was said?
Something to the extent, sir.
Well, what did Senior Chief say prior to this? What was Senior Chief doing? That's my question. Like, was Senior Chief like pinning him up against his rack or some shit?
I think this must have been like at a DRB or something like that, though. But oh my!
Step one more step towards me, I'm gonna beat your bald ass.
Ass.
This sounds like me at work.
that you have replied to me repeatedly over the last couple of days. And what I also know is that I have a lot of respect for Senior Chief Tolan and Sheriff McDaniel, because they have proven their reliability to me many times over. So it comes down to he said, absolutely, I have absolutely no reason at all to believe you. Well, I'm glad it's duly noted. How about standing at attention? You think this is a joke?
I don't think it's a joke, sir.
He ascended. He has ascended into shitbaggery.
I stand at attention and then some, sir.
Oh my god, this is gold.
So, you admit you're disrespectful, but you claim you did not actually threaten.
That's correct, sir.
That's correct, sir.
As to the charge of violation of Article 86, that you left your appointed place of duty, and that you left the scullery, went down to this park load up and worked out. Did you do that?
That's correct, sir.
Without permission, without
Oh, so
authorization?
using the word department scullery. Okay, that's different. Okay,
Yep.
now I have
I
context.
said,
So why he
broke out
left
like
his
crazy, come
appointed
sit
place
down,
of duty.
right here. That's what I did.
Who was this person who threatened to beat you up?
That's Stephen Bell, Silver Prince Fellows. I'm told, they all supported about it too.
So, Seaman Apprentice Bellows, who was about half your size, threatened to beat you up.
That's correct.
He's scared.
Hey,
Oh,
small people be crazy, man. Like, there's literally times where I've watched women 3 times my mama's size back off from a fight with her because they're like, bitch, you crazy.
I mean, to be fair, DJ is an actual ankle biter. That shit hurts.
Yeah. No, like, to be honest, like, if DJ came up to me and said I was gonna beat you up, I'd think he'd have the complete capacity to do so, even though he's half my size.
Indeed.
Verify with you?
Seaman Apprentice Bellows.
Seaman Bellows.
And this, well, I guess they're summoning.
So is it Myers or Livers? Like, what is
Livers.
this kid's name? Livers.
I thought it was
Okay.
Flowers, but I guess it's Livers. But so going back to the whole thing of like breaking down like the whole mess, though, yes, you can call witnesses. Like normally, like the protocol is like try to like figure out the call or have them there ahead of time, but you can do that. You can absolutely do that. I mean, it would
Well,
prolong
with it being
the
an
whole.
open mass, they can pull them as they need to.
Yeah, but there are times though it's just like we have to like put everything on halt, and then like they would have to whoop up to the control room and then have make the 1MC announcement to have them report to the wardroom.
Yeah. So when I was in a DRB, so on my watch team, it was pretty common practice to have, if you messed up on a watch or during drill, to have the person do push-ups. And I was on limited duty at the time for my arm, and I told my CMO, like, no, I can't do them. My arm's messed up. Like, I'll do them when I feel better. I didn't even report this hazing, right? My chief comes down and sees me trying to do push-ups with one arm. And when asked about it, he was like, well, that's what we do when we mess up on watch. It's like, okay, yeah, no, that's not cool. So at the DRB, they had me come in beforehand, tell them my side of the story. I was like, hey, this is pretty common practice. I didn't even like see an issue with it. Like, if anything, I was getting a workout on watch, right? No issue. But I definitely know that this comes from these individuals. They made it a common practice. And so then they pulled those guys in for the DRB too. And then I have to stand outside waiting until the DRB's done. And I just hear Master Chief like screaming at this dude. When I tell you these guys are like jacked, like out squat me by a good 300-400 pounds, like huge dudes come out straight up pissed themselves. So my level of respect for them gone. But yeah, I had to testify, I guess, to the DRB prior to them even being brought in. Hey, this is my story. This is how I felt about it. I definitely see like a notice of like a shift in the culture where like hazing people is an uptick, but like we all just kind of take it as good fun. But even though I said it that way, they did not take it as good fun.
Yeah, because they're trying to break away from like the whole, like they're trying to establish like, because hazing is like a common, especially like around this time, but you don't really hear much about hazing incidents nowadays.
Yeah, because everyone's afraid to do anything. But,
Well,
like when I was coming up in the Navy, like that was how you cut your teeth. That's how you proved yourself.
yeah, but now it's just like because it's gone corporate though. The way you prove yourself is by the amount of work that you do and how good it is.
So they can make us drink shit water and make it so that we have no way of taking hot showers and fucking living on the boat with non-livable conditions. But if we call each other fuckface, that's bad.
Or retard. I'm pretty sure
I'm
that's
so
gonna get
glad.
flagged.
Like, I'm so glad I got off my ship when I did, because apparently when the new captain took over, it went to hell on high water.
Yeah, I just need to retire right now. I'm looking forward to it. Get me some and then some moon rocks.
Disability don't go as far as you think it does, bud. I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
The what?
Disability don't go as far as you think it does.
No, but stacked with like a pension and well, my fleet reserve pay and stuff though, it will go
Oh
pretty
yeah,
far.
you're retiring. I just got medically retired, so I'm only getting my disability.
Yep. But yeah, it's kind of like they offset it though. Like if I'm like with the VA though, but if I uh prove my claim though that my disabilities was contributed through or combat related / deployment type thing, they'll
Yeah,
restore.
you definitely have a lot more acclaim than I do on most stuff. Like, being a mechanic sucked and it definitely destroyed my body. And obviously there was the mental issues. But you have way more to claim than I do. Like, I had the tinnitus, I had the mental health, and I claimed my back and my fertility issues, but they were like, oh, that can't be service connected. I was like, y'all forced me to go on birth control even though I didn't want to. So I feel like I should have some type of claim. But they have to pay for my fertility treatments when I decide I want to have kids because it was in my disability claim.
Okay. Let's continue. There's like 10 more minutes of this.
Yeah, I know, my bad.
I'm not sure that it's relevant. I don't think we need to distract you. The issue is you walked away from your point of place of duty without reporting to your superior. Okay? And so that's really the response. Why you did it is not.
That's what I did to him.
As to
We don't care why you did it, you did it. You agree that you did it.
using my name, my first name, referring to me. Did you do that?
It was
Why?
so again, I had nothing to do.
You had nothing to do, so you just act disrespectfully towards me.
Not in front of your face, but behind your back.
Oh, what? I heard about that.
You would be called our captain's slaughterhouse. To his face.
Okay, based on your testimony, I don't feel the need to talk to any more witnesses. based on the statements I have in front of me. I do have another question for you, however, and that is, did you disassemble the strainer?
Right. No, I did not, sir.
Okay.
Wait. Wait. I don't want to hear anything from you. I have another question.
Okay.
Sir. No. That's what he said.
Oh. I didn't
Like-
get.
I don't want to hear anything more from you. I feel like that you have nothing else to contribute. I have a question.
Hold on, I gotta back. I did not hear that.
Like,
Did you disassemble the strainer?
Right. No, I did not, sir.
Okay.
no, you have to go back further.
I was asked for too short of a time.
Okay, based on your testimony, I don't feel the need to talk to any more witnesses. Based on the statements I have in front of me. I do have another question for you, however, and that is, did you disassemble the strainer?
Right. No, I did not, sir.
There.
Okay.
Based on the statement I have in front of me, I feel like I don't want to hear any more from you.
Do you have any other questions?
I have another question.
And then, did you take apart the strainer?
What? What
Well,
strainer? Okay. There's more to the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just.
I was asked for too short of a time for this was a strainer.
Okay. Any idea who did disassemble the strainer?
Possible one of the machinists made or ABC with Grand Bubbles. I don't like having necessary to know what the tools are. It's simply that you do the strainer.
So, in your time working in the galley, you've never disassembled the strainer before?
No, I have.
Under the gun. Very well. I'm going to leave that alone. That's a charge that's still floating out there. We'll investigate and determine whether or not we need to pursue.
So are they claiming he also destroyed a strainer in the galley?
Yeah, destroyed slash disassembled without like a authorization to do so. That's what they were trying to get at.
Well, there's maintenance on strainers all the time. Like literally, when I was in the engine room, we had to do maintenance and disassemble the strainers constantly,
Right?
daily. So if he felt like it was clogged, he was just taking it apart to fix it. Whatever. Dude, they just want to find shit to piss him off.
I mean, it's just like it's 3 captain's masts in a row, though. It's like it's to the point. It's like, well, we're just gonna see how like the intent is like make it as look bad on him as possible. But like I was saying before, though, it completely backfired, and everything pretty much got dropped.
Why would they videotape this? Why?
I don't know,
Because no one was allowed to videotape the Diablo mast.
I don't know, but it's one of those things
We
like
were all there, and it was out in the open, like anybody could hear.
Like it's one of those things like from what I've heard though, it somehow got leaked. It started off on Facebook in one of those group or the group
There's probably a
pages.
kid trying to show the culture of the fucking boat.
Not the culture of the boat though. It's like, dude, you gotta
Trying to
look
be
at
like,
this.
hey, this is how they treat people.
Not even. You know where where it initially ended up at?
No,
Shit, my LPO says.
where?
Huh?
Oh my god, I love this. Yeah, no, it was a meme. They're like, dude, look how funny this is.
Yeah, that's how it freaking essentially got leaked though, because this was
Showed
like,
up to mast, looking, looking a fool.
it,
Initially, when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, what a crap bag. But then as I got further in, I was like, okay, come on. Because I started giving it like context, like how people on my boat treated each other. And there was definitely some people that they just nitpicked everything they did and tried to find something wrong with it.
I mean, yeah,
There was people who did the maintenance the same exact way as one of the guys on our boat, and they charged him with blazing the maintenance, even though I have literally watched tens, if not hundreds of times, somebody doing it the exact same way. Because he didn't have the fucking instruction in front of him.
yeah.
He was doing it how he was showed, not because of the maintenance card.
I mean, yeah, but again, well, that's how things are supposed to be. Is you're supposed to have like, your references and
Like
all
they pick
stuff.
and choose on who they're going to be in charge. And I understand completely. But when you do carbon steel maintenance every fucking week, you get 2 or 3 cards. You, at that point, have it memorized. I know exactly what to do.
Yeah, but you really think a freaking seaman recruit knows how to
But my
disassemble
dippo
a
came down
strainer?
and saw him doing maintenance without the fucking card on him. So they decided to fucking destroy his soul because they decided they have beef with him.
All right, let's finish this.
They pick and choose on shit that they decide to get you in trouble for. But yeah. Yeah, continue.
Are there any witnesses that you'd like to ask questions of?
I had witnesses, but I'll change my mind about the witnesses.
You changed your mind about the witnesses?
That's correct, sir. When the meeting heard.
Go ahead and go.
Of course, it won't do you any good now.
There's no point now. Like, I don't care what my friends are gonna say for me. I decided I'm guilty, so why do I give a fuck?
Now you had
They already had this decided before he even stepped in there. I don't even know why they sent him through this.
Usually, like a lot of captain's masts are already predetermined based on like what the evidence is. And
What do you mean they're predetermined? Like based on
The
evidence
captain already-
or like just based on their opinion of the individual?
No, it's just like based on the evidence and all that stuff done. The captain pretty much has an idea of what they want, but
Because my captain made sure he never saw paperwork before he went into a captain's mast because he wanted to feel that they had a to say that what they saw and what had happened.
yeah, that's what the protocol is that the captain doesn't
He
see
wanted
it
a
until
completely unbiased opinion.
yeah, and usually he would see all that paperwork on the day of the mast. And then the Cobb and the EXO would brief him.
So he had a chance to look at it before. Okay, so he had a predetermined opinion of how this was going to go.
Yeah. And because
That's
of like
not
what
fair to the person trying to give their case. Like, yeah, I kind of get. I don't know how court works because I've never been to court. But does the judge see paperwork before that?
no, the judge is essentially goes on the people just arguing their case. And it's just a
But he
matter
has
of
the
like
same opinion as the Jinda. Why does the captain get a one up?
it's not a
I
one
get
up.
it's not the same as a court martial, so it's not an actual official court.
It's non-judicial punishment. It's just like the facts are like, yes, you indeed violated these articles, and the captain has the right to like choose what the punishments are, as long as like the punishments fit the charges. And the problem is, and this is where I'm getting at, the
I guess
problem
that's
is how they actually processed it.
I never went to Mast. Well, the closest I came to Mast was when you and I were on CS11 together.
Yeah,
And I actually didn't go to Mass because I was able to justify that my medication had an effect on my ability to sleep and get up. And that my doctor essentially said, hey, she's going to have a hard time functioning for a while, and you need to leave her alone.
yeah. And again, though, that's because you are.
Like, you remember, like, Chief had it out for me, dude. And she wanted me to go to the top and to end up on the bottom. And she wanted me to lose rank. She was totally determined to admin set me and not let me go through the whole entire process of medical board. And she did her best to try to get rid of me because she was like, hey, initially when you came, I took pity on your case and blah, 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 blah. And I wanted you to come to my department because I thought you were going to be a useful person. She took no pity on what I was going through. My husband had just left me. I'd attempted to end my life. I was a wreck. And she could care less.
Again, that is based on a different person. And obviously, they're not going to.
But
Like,
I feel like this is very similar. He gave zero craps about what he had to say. He had a predetermined prejudice or opinion.
Again, and this is why I'm saying, like, this is like one of those things that got thrown out.
Because initially, like in my case, Chief, she was like, hey, I had a very similar thing with like when my marriage fell apart, blah, 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 blah. And instead of being concerned about my safety, she cared about getting me in trouble. Master Chief, he was like, hey, like, all I care is about if you have a day where you can't come in, just call somebody. Let them know. I just want to know that you're alive and that you're safe. And she didn't care. She just wanted to get me in trouble. And I was like, I have never once been in trouble my whole entire service. I've been in almost 10 years at that point. Maybe take into account what I'd been through. And that's probably why my behavior had changed. And I feel like that's, at this point, that's what's going on with this seaman recruit. Can continue. I'm sorry. I'm just very hyped up right now.
You're very what?
This is a yes or no question.
No, sir.
No, I saw the record show that Seaman. I'll ask you a question, but you speak. Understand?
Understand perfectly, sir.
Record show that Seaman Recruit Clivers does not desire following witnesses contrary to his
That guy in the
written
back,
election.
he's like a friend of him or something, and it's like totally knows what's going on. He's like, dude, this is ridiculous.
I have before me the documents and statements by the personnel that have your initials on them as having reviewed them. They'll be considered by me and you'll be given the opportunity to examine those documents.
Yes, I have, sir.
Is there anything you wish to offer? Personal statements in your defense? Any other witnesses or any evidence you'd like to offer?
That one phrase, sir.
Say again?
That one phrase, sir.
You have one phrase.
My friends. Equal justice. That's all I have to say.
Equal justice.
Equal opportunity justice.
Equal opportunity justice.
Did you say give me justice?
Yeah, give me equal
Did you
justice.
say that?
Yeah, he says, give me justice, give me equal justice, equal
That's
opportunity.
fair because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's biased or opinionated. Like if I was looking at this and like say I was a Simio, command mentor of equal opportunity, I'd be like, okay, some of this stuff just seems very based off of like their opinion of the individual prior to this, or opinion based on people of his skin color. Because we had a lot of people
we haven't
on
even
my
gotten
ship
to
that
that
were
yet.
very much.
We haven't even gotten to that yet.
I
Oh,
assure
does
you
he bring that up?
Justice you get from
Just
me
watch.
will be equal opportunity.
I wish I could look at that.
Are there any other witnesses you would like to call or any other evidence you'd like to present?
No, sir.
Is there anything you wish to offer that would lessen the seriousness of these offenses or mitigate them?
I don't have any breach on me, so that wouldn't work. So, no, sir.
So, are you accusing me of acting in a way that's racist or biasing my decisions that I've made?
I did not say that, sir.
Yes, you did.
You said it, sir.
Oh, I'm not the one who made a statement about bleach.
I'd say
The
yes.
implication that if you bleached your skin a different color, somehow things would be different.
I agree with you,
What
boy.
was the meaning
I
of
agree
your
with you.
bleach statement? Do you mind?
As my country southern brethren,
Are you denying you made a statement?
they send me all
Campus right
stupid,
there.
and we don't know
Are
what
you
we're
denying
talking
that
about.
you
The what?
And that's unfair. Just because we talk different. No, I'm joking. But I feel like there was a lot of prejudice in this case, and I completely 100% agree. And I would have absolutely 100% appealed this shit with him if I had any say or willing to do so. I know I was never illegal. I know I was never a yeoman in any way or sense or form, but I would have freaking requested an appeal. I don't give a frick.
Yeah, but everything that happened though is just like they were valid. But like I said though, there were so many things that they did, or like this Captain Mass though. Like I said though,
God,
they added charges in the middle of mass, and you're not supposed to do that.
added charges in the middle of mass, and you're not supposed to do it. Added charges in mass, and you're not.
You might want to step back.
You might want to step back.
Yeah, I'm getting feedback.
Okay, I am 40% deaf in one ear, okay? I need backup. I need backup audio.
Okay. But like I was saying though, it's just like they're, and I'm pretty sure like they have this video at like the senior enlisted academy and stuff, like, you know, things that you're not supposed to do at Captain's Mass, and they break it down, and I'm pretty sure there's stuff that I'm missing in this. But
made a statement
Okay.
No, sir.
that explained to me the meaning of your statement?
Bleach, like they put in my dress uniform, so I had nice and clean. They were waiting for I had to put bleach on my uniform, they ran my uniform was dirty.
Right. So, there's nothing else you wish to offer to lessen the seriousness of the offenses or mitigate them?
Nothing else, sir.
As we've done this twice before in the last couple of days, I will refrain from asking the chain of command to tell me about the overall performance of the accused performance of duties. All right, I already understand that.
He refused to
Anything else?
request any feedback. Okay, I feel like that's an appeal in itself.
Yeah, because normally, like in a mast, but I understand why the captain did that, because this is a third mast in a row, and essentially, like, he pretty much has a like you were saying before, this is already
I
premeditated.
know he understands his rights and like the process, but you still have to give, because he might have acted differently during this mass. He might have acted more prejudiced due to prior interactions. You have to go based fully off of what evidence you were presented. I mean, and I feel like he didn't give the ample opportunity for that feedback.
And well, another thing that's going to determine a captain's masses though is like, you know, character, or like, you know, because when it comes to like the part of the PIO package is character statements, and those character statements are provided to like, you know, within the chain of command.
In Nuke Life, the second the first person messes up, we're expected to say, I have lost all confidence in this person because they're not able to meet the high standards of nuclear requirements. And so it might not be that that person deserved that statement, but that's what was expected. But again, I'm going off my rate and not like others, because I feel like submarines would be a lot stricter than surface because you guys have a lot more responsibilities in sense of like security and how do I word this? Being quiet and inconspicuous. Like, we're a giant target. You're gonna see us in the middle of the ocean. There's no hiding. Like, yes, we can do what we can to minimize our electronical signal and everything, but like in reality, we are the biggest target out there. And you can only blame a sailor for disrupting that to an extent. Like, all you need is one visual and a general location, and you're gonna find a fucking carrier. Done.
All right. Well, we only got like a few more minutes left of this, so let's like try to plow through it.
Would you like to present this evening?
No, sir.
Very well. Find you've committed following offense.
Yep. So now he's just like essentially like saying like, you know, coming to the conclusion like I find you guilty or not guilty of the these charges.
That's completely up to his opinion. And yes, I know he's supposed to go completely based off the evidence presented, but he's going to have a preconceived opinion. And there's no way, as a human, you can logically say, I dismissed all preconceived notions of this individual and my opinions of them.
I mean, to be fair, he admitted to like all of the other stuff that he did, and he pretty much lied about a lot of this stuff. So obviously that is like one of those character.
How do you know he lied? Where did we prove that he lied at any point?
The witnesses? It's like, that's not true. This is what he actually said.
Okay. So the one time when he was trying to downplay how he had threatened a senior commissioned officer.
Yeah, you don't.
That would be a strong.
That is a
but
Charlie, that is a violation. You don't threaten people. You don't threaten people, Charlie. You don't threaten people. Charlie, you don't threaten people. And that is a direct violation of the UCMJ.
You're going off of what somebody said and your preconceived opinions of that person. I guess you could say I'm playing devil's advocate, but
you kind of are. You kind of are. But it is based on witness statements, and then it's just like, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, we like what the, you know, counseling chits that he has, so they could probably go off on that, those, like, you know, based on, like, you know, or character statements too. And because this is his third mass in a row,
and that's why they pretty much skipped that part though, because they pretty much have an idea of like what his character is, and it's like, well, we're just gonna add more to this.
Broke your TLD
Previous
on
statements.
purpose.
So they would pull the statements from a previous person or a previous case.
They can, again though, it's just like you can, or in the report sheet, you can actually list like previous charges, and it's one of those things they can actually use those charge or what was in that package. And it's just like, and if it's like one of those things, like if it's a pattern of misconduct, they can use that against you.
So, as to the charge of willfully destroying your TLD, I find that you're not guilty. As to the charge of negligently entering the engine room or radiation area without your TLD, violation of Article 92, I find that you are guilty. As to the charges of willfully entering the engine room on 2 occasions without your TLD, I find you're guilty of a lesser offense, and that is negligently entering the engine room. So that's 3 counts that you're found guilty of negligently entering the engine room without a TLD.
Awesome.
As to the charge of destroying and your Navy blue coveralls, guilty. It's a violation of Article 92. It's valid. As to the Article 91 charge, disobeying Master Chief Weaver, on your report back to duty, I find that you're guilty. As to the charge of Article 92, of destroying your service white uniform, you stand before me in, guilty. As to the charge of disorderly conduct, running around the missile compartment with shredded uniform parts and making yourself a disruption, I find that you're guilty. It's a violation of Article 134, disorderly conduct. As to the charge of Article 91, contemptuous and disrespectful behavior to Senior Chief Contola, I find that you're guilty. As to charge of Article 86, unauthorized absence, leaving your appointed place of duty, failing to return, I find that you're guilty. As to the charge of Article 89, disrespect towards me, Superior Commissioned Officer, I find you guilty. Hereby impose following punishments. Confined, 3 days, bread and water. Forfeiture of 1/2 month's pay for 2 months. You're advised that you have the right to appeal this punishment to Commander Submarine Squadron 20. Your appeal must be made within a reasonable time, which is normally 5 days. Immediately following this hearing, the executive officer will advise you more fully of his right to appeal. Do you understand?
I understand, sir.
Okay. Additionally, you will be issued a confinement order. We'll discuss specific terms in terms of your confinement. Understand?
I understand, sir.
Honestly, I feel like that was fair.
Dismissed into custody.
Not
Oh,
guilty of
Dismissed into custody.
initial destruction of the TLD. Because there wasn't enough evidence to prove that he did it on purpose. But entering the engine room afterwards, obviously he knew better. And then being disrespectful, he even said, I threatened to punch him in his bald-headed face. Like, or like he at least even said, I threatened his bald head. So I feel this is fair. This is a fair judgment. I know you said it got appealed later, but based on everything I heard and what he said and how he charged him, it's mostly fair. Would you agree that he fairly judged him, or yes or no?
I mean, yeah, like, the punishment itself though is just like confinement on a submarine though. That's literally impossible to do because we don't really have a brig per se. And
Oh,
yeah, it's just like the
so
punishment.
restriction means that like in a Liberty port, he wouldn't be able to leave the boat.
No, there's restriction and then there's confinement. Like you're literally going to jail. But we don't have, like I said, we don't have anywhere to like to put him in like the brig and stuff. And he puts him on bread and water for what, 3 days? It's like I gotta look at the manuals for court martial because I don't really think he can necessarily do that. Well, again, it was a different time back then. I'm pretty sure you can't even do that anymore.
We had people who had that on our boat. Like they got we had a brig, bread and water. They weren't allowed to go to chow. They brought them chow.
Cover. 2. And salute. 2. Report to the XO statement.
Report to the XO statement, right?
He did his movements so fluid. Like that's the thing. Like yeah, he might have been checked out like at this command, but as like a military bearing, he honestly was on it, bro.
Well, not throughout the entire thing though. Like he was like doing like you're supposed to be standing there and like state your case though, and like not actually make movements and stuff. And he was fidgeting a lot. And again though, it's just like literally the dude just did not care. And it's just one of those things like if you don't really care about the Cavs mask though, he's just gonna go hard on you. And it was in some cases though, yeah, it was fair though, but can't really put him in confinement. Like restricted to the boat or putting him on restriction, that'd be one thing. But confinement, no.
Maybe they didn't have a differentiation between that at the time. You said you weren't in yet
3101
at this
in the
time.
uniform regulations by wrongfully
I
destroying
definitely wasn't. It's completely different.
The dude ripped a fucking fart in the middle of a fucking captain's mask. So,
Who?
He ripped a fucking fart in the middle of the fucking cab's mask.
Hey, like you can hold that shit in. Sometimes that shit hurts if you hold it in.
3101.
Listen.
To be honest, I have that all the time.
Just listen.
Regulations by wrongfully destroying, detaining or throwing away your.
I want to see if they actually.
I understand that charge, sir.
Violation of Article 91, and that you did.
Damn, nobody. Superintendent.
I was not in your understanding detention.
Hey, be honest.
I was like telling my chief though.
All been under confinement, or not under confinement, but like undersea. This giant metal tube. At this point, you've just accepted farts. Like even in birthing, like if a girl's straight up almost shit herself, it's just like, girl, it's okay. Just go to the bathroom. You're fine. We didn't even acknowledge it. We didn't even like mentally cap who we said it to. It was just like, okay, a random girl almost shit herself today.
Oh my god. Oh my, I was actually talking to my chief today though. We're gonna make, I gotta make this into a challenge coin or a meme challenge coin. And then like, you know, just putting the words, that's bullshit, Rick.
Bullshit, Rick.
We gotta look at the comments. Legend has it the sailor is still acknowledging charges to this day.
Legend has it the sailor is still acknowledging charges to this day. Legend has it the sailor is still acknowledging charges to this day.
I'm sorry.
I served in the Navy for 20 years and attended an open captain's mast before, but I never seen anything as disrespectful as this guy. Hats off to CO for keeping it. No, he lost his cool. He did not keep his cool.
He definitely did. Did he did it in an absolute obvious way? No. But, like, compared to normal decorum.
That there was no decorum.
Definitely lost
there
his
was no
cool.
decorum in this mast at all. My dad faced the captain's master misappropriation of a case of hamburgers from the mess inventory. He used them for a dive locker cookout. He was not punished, just scared into inviting the officers next time. That was an incredibly light
Oh my
sentence.
god. That's hilarious.
That was an incredibly light sentence for threatening a senior chief, disobeying a master chief, and downright disrespecting the captain. I don't know, man. Bread and water and confinement.
I feel like he based off what I was presented in this video, he tried him and his sentence was fairly fair.
I would say if you would have taken away the or swapped the confinement for restriction for like, and with a little bit with EMI, that would be fair. And again, though, just like bread and water, though, yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
so the confinement can be delayed. So we had people that they got their punishment was given out while we were out to sea, but the initial start of their actual confinement was on date of next port call.
His recruiter was all about the numbers. I was in the Navy for 12 years. I went to captain's mast 3 separate times. Each and every time the charges were dismissed. This guy's... Yeah, but you went on 3 separate times, but have you gone back to back? Yeah, no, this dude's a freaking legend. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. I respect. There's so much respect here.
Son, fat,
But
drunk, and stupid.
you guys want to hear the story about the Diablo incident?
Yeah, sure.
So at Naval Nuclear Power Training Command, you're put into barracks and it is separated by sex, like either by floor or the building altogether. And we had some students who were dating, because as you do, you're at college or training command or whatever, and you're teenagers, first time, or failed college students, same opinion. Well, this guy and his roommate were playing Diablo. One of the guys invites his girlfriend into the barracks, which is not allowed. And she brought a friend. So they start hooking up, or like the boyfriend and girlfriend start making out. And then as they get further on, the girl, like the friend, and the other roommate were like, well, might as well. Further on into the night, one of them goes to leave to get like a snack or food or something. But the orgy is still going on. So, like, there's other people that have been invited and it's going on. And someone walked by, or like the watch walked by as they opened the door. And so they go to open mast. And there is 6 people standing up there. And everybody is like, okay, I see 3 dudes and 2 girls, but like, what's the middle one? And of course, that's Seaman Beard. which is the person with the same last name as me. No one could tell if it was a guy or a girl. And then they had opinions of anybody with the last name Beard for months afterwards. So anybody who met me was like, "Oh, Beard, are you the person who was at the Diablo Mast?" Like, no. I'm not related to them. I don't know who this person is. I claim complete innocence. I'm a good little child. Yeah, that was the whole Diablo incident. Was literally an orgy started with two dudes playing Diablo 3.
And then it just evolved into an orgy. Or a non-stop orgy.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially. And of course there was other cases of guys pulling girls into their rooms late at night, things like that. But most of those were treated with Sapper. But we never had an incident like that when I was there. Like, at most, we had a guy who peed on the vending machine. And then another guy who got caught with tails. Like, he was wearing butt plug tails into the study room after hours because you were allowed to wear civilian clothes in Power School.
I mean, that's typical
We
nuke
banned
behavior.
anything like that afterwards. And then we had a health and comfort inspection one time because we found a dead body in the woods, apparently. At least that was the rumor. I don't know the whole actual, like, complete report, but we had a health and comfort because apparently someone had reported a dead body in the woods.
You know, have pancake. You care for them?
I would love a pancake.
Take the bacon.
Yeah. The baking soda's up there,
The bacon mixed with pancakes.
pancakes are in the top shelf. No, top shelf at the bottom. Right?
Yeah.
No, it might be in the front of the top. I'm sorry.
What we got?
No, it says it's the Krusties, sweet and creamy. Sorry, I'm trying to get a snack here.
That's
moment.
okay.
That's right. Without the food mouse to one of the baked ones. This is a good
Where is it?
Okay.
It's gone.
But this is almost gone. She's really.
You stole my pancakes.
Oh no.
Okay. I have cereal. Yeah.
Cereal.
I hid it.
You have cereal. I hid it.
Yes, I have cereal. It's Choco Bites because Malto Meal is the OG.
Do you have one guy over here? I'm used to that too. Carol reaches.
It might be. I thought.
Yeah, see this bacon?
Yay! Pancakes.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry, I'm high as shit, and I really want some pancakes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done. I'm back in focus. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just really want pancakes. I didn't get any last time.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh.
I know, dude. It's an absolute travesty. No pancakes? Okay, continue. Do you have any interesting mass stories, Max? Because mine was just the Diablo party and then the DRB that I was part of.
Like the only mass that I remember and stuff, well, this is actually the last one I actually attended, was the captain just outright told him to get the fuck out of the wardroom. Like, just straight up. Like, he was done. Because it was just one of those things, like, it was a back and forth. It was just it was kind of like similar to that, though, but it was just like back and forth and wasn't going anywhere because the dude kept repeating himself. And then he just had enough, though, and, like, you know, it's like, I find you guilty of the following, read the charges, and then just told him to get out. And then I'm like,
Damn,
what the
Like, you had to have mad pissed him off. Said something about his mom or something.
No, it's just that it's one of those things, like, the captain was just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, though, the dude was just like, I just don't care. I did what I did, though. It's just like, and I just want to go to a different boat, and you guys won't even let me
like,
do that.
in my case, it was like Master Chief was like, I'm just more concerned about your safety. And he was like, just start showing up to work, okay? Like, and if you don't, I need you to go to medical and call and be descriptive of why you don't feel like coming to work today.
Yeah. But
Master Chief saved me on that. Because Chief was downright out for my soul.
But to be fair, nobody really liked her. And it's just like,
no one did. And like I said, I initially bonded with her the whole, like, we're getting a divorce thing. Hers, I definitely feel like it was her fault. Like, I'm not making assumptions.
well, no, it's just like, and before he left, though, the chief that she relieved, though, warned her not to freaking, you know, take on more than or bite off more than she could chew. And she completely disregarded that and, like, tried to do everything. And it kind of, like, you know, just engulfed her, really. And it's just like,
She was trying to prove herself because she came from surface and wanted to prove herself as a submariner or submariner.
I mean, she came from
I get why she
a
did it
sub.
because I'm the same way. That was the annoying part. I was like her in a lot of ways, but I wasn't so bitchy about it.
I don't know. It's just like something just clicked, and, like, she just did a complete 180, though, and then just, like, everybody just hated her. And then, yeah, one of the or just like what I guess, like, you know, like, she was just like that from the get-go, and, like, nobody really saw it until, like, she started showing her true colors. At least out of
saw. Of course, like, all the other senior enlisted at the command were like, we don't get what she's saying, or, like, how she sucks. Because when they saw me on watch, I was like the A-lister. I was number one. I knew my stuff. I knew how to do drills. I was the only person who passed drills. Like, if they came in and asked a question, I knew the answer already. And they were like, what do you mean Beard sucks? She's like the best watchstander we have.
Yeah. The only person that kind of pretty much knew what her true color is, and, like, you know, like, she really sucked, was Calvin. And the reason why he knew about it, or, like, about her character, is because she told him to get the hell out of the office.
He worked with her every day.
No, not for the first week. Because you know what she did? She's told him to get out of the office, and just typical Calvin, and out of spite, though, did not show up to work for a whole week. And then she's like, well, where were you this whole time?
Shit. That sounds okay. That 1,000% sounds like him.
And it's like, you told me to get out of the office, so I just went home. And then I heard this story from him.
Where else was he supposed to go? The fucking captain's office? Like, he's not allowed in there.
Yeah, and then it's just like, it's one of those things, like, it's like, you know, as high functioning as Calvin is, like, he's probably more functioning than I am, though, but
Let me see.
No matter what you do, he could just spin it in any way though. That's just gonna like just explode in your face, and that's one of those things like Chief couldn't
You're at 2.5 cups.
Yes, so it holds 3.
It holds 4.
Oh, it holds 4. Okay, thank you. That's what I need to do now. Okay, then. That's what I actually need.
Sorry. Okay. Or no, not cupcakes.
Sorry.
Cupcakes.
Sorry.
Continue.
But yeah, it's just like it's really hard. Like it's one of those things. Like yeah, he's like way too functioning for that, or high functioning for that. It's like no matter what you do though, it's just like it's just gonna get it's gonna get to the point where you're like extremely frustrated. Not
On
only that,
surface, she could have said, "Get out of my office." They would have just been assigned to a different office, because there's like 12 to 15 different offices in a carrier. But at Shore Command, there's only one office. What is he supposed to go to the Arco?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't remember why he showed up to work that day though. And then like she's like, "What?" I was like, "Wait, who are you?" And oh wait, who was it though that is just like I can't remember who it was though, but she told like. She essentially told this one dude that like, cause he just like came straight to me like wanted to like request something, and she told him to get the hell out of the office, and then I had to explain it. I can't remember who it was though, but it's like damn it. And I was like, yeah, he's one of the leading yeomans on the boat though. I'm like trying to help him out. And then she was pale as a ghost. And it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, way to work.
She absolutely lost it when there was people who started coming directly to me for questions, because they're like, "Hey, you do gains and stuff, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay, I have a question." She was so pissed they didn't go to her first, and I'm like,
why would she be pissed that it didn't go to her first? Normally, she would be like the last person to look at it before it go or. Oh my god, she is just a piece of work.
She wanted her fingers and everything.
Again, though, that was like, advised against that, though. But again, though, she's just like trying to prove herself that she is like this girl boss, and it completely backfired. And I think last I heard, though, she actually got fired as a leading yeoman on the one of the boats out in Washington. Because she really sucked at her job.
Was it the Michigan? Because I think she tried to go back to the Michigan, because she's like, I already know everybody there, and I already know how it works.
I think she went to the Ohio. But I honestly don't know.
Okay.
From words from the grapevine that she actually did get fired though, but I can't confirm nor deny that. I mean, it's gonna be one of those things like it's gonna be one of those.
As a person, I feel bad saying that, but as a person who worked for her.
Oh no, like, well, no, that's the one thing I will always hold over her head though. Is like, I did not get fired as leading yeoman. As a first class. That's right, guys. I am very spiteful. But yeah.
I thought I was mean, and then I met you.
I mean, it's one of those things like
Our first interaction at your command was, "What the fuck do you want?"
And then I actually understand, or you were actually the person that was showing up, because I think Chief was saying that, there was someone from the carrier that's going to be coming to work for us though, because she is, has suicide ideations and stuff like that though. Is like, just
Broken?
make sure, just
Broken.
Yeah, essentially broken though, but it's just like she's gonna work for us though. Just make sure that you get her checked in and all that stuff. And I just can't remember what was going on that day though. I think I may have been day after duty or something like that, and I was just like really tired and cranky.
You were so pissy. What the fuck do you want? I was like, I'm here. I have questions. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and then I actually find out like, oh, you're the guy, or and then like, yeah, I think my tone did change a little bit, and like it just went from like amped up,
Be
angry, and all
nice
that
to
stuff.
her. She's psycho. And then a couple days later, I giggle at something on the news, and you're like, "Are we gonna be best friends?"
Yep. I think it was just because I made a
What was it?
it
What
was
was
a
it that was on the news? It was something
no, it
with
wasn't a
Biden or something.
no, I took a crack at like what the news was. I made a joke about it, and you chuckled at it, and I looked at you. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna be best of friends. You're just as fucked up as I am."
We're both insane.
Only I don't have grippy socks.
Hey, grippy socks are comfy. Don't you be
I-
fucking hating.
No, I'm hating because I don't have grippy socks. Of course, I know they're comfy.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I promise you do not want to go to a fucking psych ward, dude. You'd be so bored.
Oh, I bet. Of course I would be bored.
You'd be like, wait, what am I supposed to do? Color? Play spades? Color? Go to therapy? Do yoga? Sleep?
Actually, that sounds like heaven. Like, I sleep a lot.
Dude, it was fucking great. You can, but they market that you sleep too much.
I mean, what the hell? What else am I supposed to do?
Go to your mandatory therapy classes per your training or your care team.
That shit's
Take your
fucking boring.
medications. Eat your meals 3 times a day and a decent amount. And that you participate in group activities.
Yeah, and the medication they have me on would probably make me more suicidal.
That is a side effect of some mental health medication.
Yeah, and that's like the thing that just baffles the ever living shit out of me. Like with antidepressants, was just supposed to be a downer, and it's just like, oh, if you have
Most mental health medications it's an off-label use. Like my antidepressant is actually like a cholesterol medication, and then my anti-anxiety is actually a neuropathy medication.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before. And yeah, like
Yeah, like none of my medications are actually mental health derived. They're off-label use, non-habit forming bullshit.
yeah, and just like watching the video that I usually share on the reels, though, I kind of like believe that I am like I do have ADHD.
Oh, there's zero question about that. Zero fucking question.
Yeah, but it's just like, how do I get the diagnoses for that though? Because obviously it's not going to be through a therapist.
You have to wait until you're out, because if you get that diagnosis while you're still in, you can get separated. But once you get out, most therapy offices have what they call ADHD or ADHD autism clinics. And it's a psychologist that comes in and interviews you and does the evaluation with you. Because your therapist can't legally diagnose you with it, a psychologist has to.
Okay. So that's something I had to talk to
They can recommend it.
That's something I had to talk to about my primary care manager.
Yeah, your primary care manager or your active therapist can recommend it. I'm actually on a wait list for a clinic, and I should be going next month or within the next 2 months. So not officially diagnosed, but something's definitely wrong.
Yeah, my brain too spicy.
It's spiced with cardamom and chai.
And ghost
And
peppers.
pumpkin spice.
Well, yours is pumpkin spice flavored. I'm vanilla and ghost peppers.
Okay, how many times did I go and get pumpkin spice anything? You're a fucking liar.
I gotta get some of the truth.
I know, like, I got pumpkin spice maybe, like, what, 3 times while I lived there?
Whenever it's in season. And speaking of which, though, it is pumpkin spice season. Just throwing that out there.
Still that long.
What? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Hello? Hello? Oh.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell?
They alright?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't brilliant, but hey.
But yeah, is there anybody in chat that is had an interesting mask stories?
Apparently not. We're the only ones here right now. Which is fine. This is fine.
As long as I get posted on YouTube and become YouTube famous.
One can only hope. We're just trying to farm for, like, you know, viral content.
Interactions, people. You gotta watch here for the interactions.
Yeah. Or they can actually watch me lose, like, money, like, you know, doing crypto investing. Because I have yet to do that. I have.
Speaking of money, are you doing any fantasy leagues for football this year?
Oh, hell no. I'm not. I only like watch football like when it's
Why
like
not?
in the.
I need somebody to do a fantasy league with.
I'm not a big fan. Well, I'm just not big on, like, you know, doing fantasy leagues and all that stuff. Oh, damn it.
Yes, that's fair. You never really watched sports with me. I had to watch my Saints games by myself.
You wanna play?
Okay, thank you. But you did watch my rugby tournaments with me during the Olympics, so I give you credit for that.
So that's actually fun to watch.
Those professional teams just kick a lot, and I'm like, come on, man. Actually hit each other.
I mean, it's the Olympics, though. I don't think they want to be, like, you know, be liable for anything, you know?
No, it's just professional teams in general, because even during World Cup, you watch teams that, like, just kick across the field to get it. Like if they feel like they're going to be threatened, instead of looking for someone who's open, they just kick the ball forward, and it's like, no.
Kick the bloody ball.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, this is also a freaking good token to freaking buy right now.
So I'm going to Connecticut in a couple weeks.
Wait, what?
So one of my friends from Nuke School is getting married, and she's getting married in Connecticut. So I'm going to Connecticut for a wedding. You just weren't really bringing the conversation forward, so I decided to just bring up the topic, I guess.
Yeah. Anyways, well, I'm gonna actually call the stream for the night. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
But you could stick around. Hello.